Hey everybody, and welcome to Tales from the Clinic. This is a new podcast hosted by Dr. Molly O'Banion and myself, Ashley, just a regular gal. The premise of this podcast is all things pets and veterinary medicine. Dr. Molly is here to do that part. I am here to make sure she's using words us regular people can understand. Each episode we will dive into different aspects of veterinary medicine, interesting cases seen at the clinic, and just general advice on pet ownership in hopes of educating and giving a glimpse into our world. So, let's get started. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. Today we are going to be talking about snake bites. We are coming up on snake season as the weather starts to heat up. Usually around this time is when we start to see those little snacks coming out.
Slippery, sneaky snakes.
Slippery, snacks. So, I guess we'll jump right into it. Molly, you want to lead the way on our slippery snake friends?
Sneaky snakes, yes. First of all, we're talking about North American snakes.
Yes.
Because snakes all around the world are different, and their venoms work different. And so, I don't know much about... I know some about the international snakes, but I'm an expert on the North American slippery snakes.
Good.
What about them Texas snakes?
Yes. I know all about them Texas snakes. Okay, also, here's my soapbox. Are you ready? Listen up for the people in the back. Snakes are not poisonous. They're venomous. Tree frogs are poisonous.
Oh, I've read about this difference. One is if I bite the animal, and one is if they bite me.
You don't have to bite them.
Lick it.
Envenomation is where they bite you and they envenomate. They puncture and inject.
Okay.
Like a shot. Poison is if you touch something and it has substance on it.
And that absorbs into your skin.
Or if you touch something and then lick your fingers. Blah, blah.
Well,
That's poison. So snakes are not poisonous. They're venomous. And I will die fighting on this hill. Because it's important.
So today's episode is about poisonous snakes.
No! Oh my gosh! I'm going to fight you.
Perfect.
Venomous snakes. We have two main families in North America, and I would like to give you your next word.
Dang it.
Okay, ready? That one.
Pit vipers.
No.
Dang
that
it. Crotalidae.
That was... Okay.
My knee hurts again.
She's talking and she's enjoying herself. That's how hard she's trying, folks. Crotalidae.
Crotalidae?
Crotalids.
Crotalids.
Is the main class of venomous snakes that we have in North America. Crotalids are pit vipers, so they have the little pits along their little snoots, their little boop snoots. They are all of your different various forms of rattlesnakes, water moccasins, and copperheads, essentially.
I don't like snakes.
They're so cute.
Mm-mm.
The other form that we have are coral snakes. Coral snakes.
Mm.
So how do you know a coral snake from a milk snake?
Something with the patterning.
Yes.
The yellow?
Yes. It's the order of which the red, black, and yellow are. So milk snakes are red, black, and yellow. Coral snakes are red, black, and yellow. But red and yellow kill a fellow. Red and black, friend of Jack. If the red touches the black, they're milk snakes and they're not venomous. If the red touches the yellow, they're coral snakes and they are venomous.
Okay. Ugh.
I know. And my children always get that confused. And we have both in our property. So it's a really fun game for me.
That's why you're sane.
Because I'm always like, please don't kill the snakes that don't need to be killed because they have a role in the ecosystem. Like water snakes, like the non-venomous water snakes look very much like cottonmouths or water moccasins. Mm-hmm. We see them all the time at my house. I've never seen a water moccasin, but I've seen a ton of water snakes. And I'm like, leave them alone. They're eating things that need to be eaten. But Garrett's always like, it's a water moccasin. No, it's not.
I would probably be like that more.
Oh my gosh, leave it alone. It's cute. One of them, chased him, though, towards the barn. He tried to let it go, and he was like, okay, friend, go that way. And it, came at him.
Yeah.
So that one was kind of asking for it. But then he took a picture of it and he was like, look, I got this venomous snake. And I was like, not venomous.
But he was after me.
He was suicidal, I guess. I'm not sure. But, okay, so let's talk about the differences in bites, because crotalids and elapids are different, right? You have your pit vipers and you have your coral snakes, and their venoms work in completely different ways. So your pit vipers, your rattlesnakes, your coppermouths, and your cottonheads, your cottonheads and your copperheads and cottonmouths. Wow.
You're so pretty.
Their venom causes necrosis and systemic inflammatory reactions. So they cause wherever they bite you, your skin gets really black and it falls off, and then you have this giant open wounds. It causes a lot of swelling, which can cause where your swelling cuts off your circulation, the compartment syndrome. Then it causes systemic inflammation that can cause things like sepsis, and your blood cells start dying, and then you start bleeding from orifices, like really dramatic, right? But that's like dramatic snake bites. Most of the time you just have focal necrosis, but whatever. Depends on how old the snake is, if you got bit by one, because the babies don't know how to control their injections. So if you get bit by a baby, they inject a ton of venom, versus like an adult, they just use enough to make you go away.
Okay, so question. Mm-hmm. The last time that I was okay with snakes was when I went on a canoeing trip in Big Bend. But at one point, I had to cross the Rio Grande in chest-high, basically quicksand, while throwing globs of mud at a pack of, I don't know if they're called a pack, but there was about 4 to 6 3 to 4 foot long copperheads or water moccasins. I'm obviously not getting close enough, but their bodies were big enough where if I threw a mud clot and they turned their body, it was a 1.5 foot sized wake. Would I have survived? I was also a day and a half away from being in contact with civilization.
You probably interrupted mating season.
So I definitely would have died.
Yes.
Because they like that season.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're not herd or pack animals. They like to be alone. They fight each other, usually.
So I walked in on
during
a party.
mating season, the males find the female and they create these balls.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And in that, they become very territorial and they will fight you.
That makes me want to throw up thinking about what I came across. So yes, that was, I think, 13 years ago, and I will never like snakes ever again.
You should not have interrupted their date. Rude.
I had to cross the river.
No, you didn't.
No, I actually did. It turned into a cliff on the side I was walking on.
You should have crossed it somewhere else. They were having private time.
Man, I'm so rude.
So the coral snake's venom works completely differently. Coral snakes are not aggressive at all. Not like your water moccasins that are super territorial and will chase you while you're on a canoe. The coral snakes are very sweet and they're very cute. And you can put them in your pocket and they'll leave you alone until they feel like they're really threatened, and then they'll act. So if you're like trying to pull its head off, then it's going to try to bite you. But if you're just like, come on, friend, let's go on a trip, they're probably fine, and they probably won't. So like when people find their kids are out playing and they find a coral snake in their pocket, like, yeah, it's kind of scary because that kind of sucks, but it probably didn't bite them.
Yeah.
And coral snakes don't have fangs like the pit vipers do. Coral snakes have little tiny cute teeth, and they don't just bite and envenomate, they have to chew. So if a coral snake opens its mouth to bite you, and you kind of shoo, it can't envenomate you. It has to sit there and it has to chew on you in order to envenomate.
Well, that's good.
It's kind of cute. Coral snake venom doesn't cause local necrosis and local inflammation. It's a neurotoxin.
Ooh.
So it stops your nervous system from working, and then you forget how to breathe, and then you suffocate to death.
Interesting. So it's like worse, but one, it's almost like a natural guard against, you have a better chance of escaping.
Yes. Yes. Ugh. But it's like way worse. They're cute, and it takes a lot to make them angry enough to bite, and their bite takes a long time to bite effectively, but then your chances are way worse.
Yeah.
If you don't find a hospital with a coral snake, you could be in big trouble. If you don't find a hospital soon with like a crotolid, you have more time.
Okay.
So the coral snake bite, you literally just have to let it run its course. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times if you have really bad coral snake bites, those people are put on ventilators for like 48 hours and put into medically induced comas so that we can control their nervous system until the venom runs out. The rattlesnakes and the copperheads and the cottonmouths are more wound care and making sure that your body doesn't go into sepsis.
Okay.
And same with dogs, and same with cats, and same with all of the other things.
So that was a question I actually had, because I've heard some people say that human bodies react to venom differently than animals.
Not for our North American species.
Okay.
Now, the animals are not as susceptible. So, like, if we get bit, it's way worse than if a dog gets bit.
Okay.
So, if a dog gets bit, they're probably going to be fine. Like, honestly, they're probably going to be fine. I've had a couple that look really nasty, but most of the time, it's minimal. And we're even wondering if it was a snake bite or not.
Huh.
And most of the time, I'll just say, it's along their face, because what they do is they're rooting around in the grass, or they're going up to it and smelling it, and they get bit on their snoot. Mm-hmm. And so their face puffs up, and then we have to worry, like, if their throat puffs up, that's bad. But most of the time, they just look like little fat balloons.
Those pictures are funny that I've seen on the internet.
It's so sad.
It's really sad, and they look like they know what they did.
Like, remorseful. But then they do it again, because it was fun.
All the attention I got from Mom was awesome.
Yes. So back in so the recommendations for, not the elapids, for the crotalids, because the elapids is different. You have to put them on ventilators. That's like a whole ordeal. Uh-huh. But the crotalids we see way more frequently because they have the fangs. They'll bite once and envenomate. They're more aggressive. We just see them more often. And there's 3 different families of them versus 1 family of the elapids, right? Yeah. So I'm going to talk mainly about crotalid bites.
Okay.
The recommended treatment.
Does your knee hurt?
Has changed dramatically in the last decade or so, and they can't decide what they want us to do. The infamous they, the man behind the curtain. They can't decide what they want us to do. First, we used steroids. Then they said steroids actually slow down the natural healing process. So then we don't use steroids. And then we use antihistamines. And then they said, well, antihistamines may not do much. So then we were using antibiotics. And then they were like, no, it's fine. You don't need antibiotics because it's not an actual injection of bacteria. It's just an injection of venom, and the antibiotic doesn't work against the venom. So then they're like, okay, well, we'll just use antivenom. But antivenom is expensive, and not everybody can get their hands on it, and not everybody can afford to use it. So now they're like, meh.
Good luck.
Pain meds.
Yeah.
Well, me personally, I think that, number one, if your body is going into sepsis, or if it's shutting down because of a giant inflammatory response, you need steroids.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you have to stop the steroid. If the inflammatory response is going to kill you, you stop the inflammatory response. So steroids, if it's really, really bad, I think.
Yeah.
Antihistamines, a little Benadryl never killed nobody. A little Benadryl's perfectly fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It may help. If you want to throw some Benadryl at it, please do.
Yeah.
It might help them rest a little bit,
Or at least buy time before you can get to a hospital.
You definitely don't want them to be super active. You want them to stay calm, because the more their blood flows, the more it spreads. I think pain meds for a giant open wound is probably a great idea. That sounds totally fair. I think antibiotics, if the wound starts looking pussy, if the wound starts looking gross, then you might need antibiotics for secondary infections that might creep in.
That was my first thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not initially, but watch the wound and use your best judgment. And then I think things like hydrotherapy and ice and all of that is a great idea. Personally. If you've got a lot of necrotic tissue, you may have to do a surgery to get rid of that, because that's not helping anybody. Mm-hmm. I think just use your brain.
Yeah.
Okay, antivenom.
Antivenom.
It's the same antivenom we use in people.
Yep.
But it's marketed different for furry things. I guess people could also be furry. We're not going to go there. Do you know how it's made?
I know the snakes. They take the snakes and they do the thing on the jar and they go.
And then what?
They milk it.
And then? Do they just put
No,
it
I usually
in a
change
vial?
the channel by then.
Okay, so after they milk it, they take that venom and they inject it in horses.
What?
Yes, they inject it into horses because horses are not very susceptible
Okay.
to envenomations. And then they let the horse's body process it, and then they draw the blood from the horse, and they use the proteins which have antibodies against the venom, and those antibodies in the blood protein is the antivenom injection.
Interesting.
So somewhere are barns of horses that are getting injected with snake venom every day.
Oh my gosh. Are they... I'm assuming they're less susceptible because of their size?
No, their chemical makeup just doesn't respond the same way that ours does.
Huh.
So like if a horse gets bit by a snake, it's probably not a big deal.
So you can also say that well, it'd be reaching, but if you ever had to get an anti-venom injection, you can say that horse runs in your blood.
Yes.
That's how the centaurs come.
For like 5 days.
Oh, dang it. Never mind.
But you could be a centaur for 5 days.
I guess I'll go back to receptioning.
Yes. So there is a rattlesnake vaccine, which we carry, but I don't use it very frequently. I've just given it to people that request it for like hunting dogs and the dogs that are more prone, that are out in the wilderness.
Yeah, if you have property.
Right.
Yeah.
But supposedly them, man behind the curtain, them is pulling the licensing from the vaccine, and the vaccine will probably not be available to us anymore. Not that it did much. I think it just kind of bought you a little bit of time, but we may not have that available to us anymore. However, there's a new product that supposedly is coming out that may or may not be more beneficial.
Oh, what's the science?
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it yet, because it's not been approved or anything, and I'm not 100% sure that it's coming, but I've heard that there's some sort of like pill that you could carry around that would buy you some time to get somewhere if you need. So like if your dog gets bit by a snake, you give them the pill, and then it gives you extra time to get out of the wilderness or whatever.
That'd be great to have.
That'd be nice, right?
Yeah.
That's solid. But I don't know anything else about it. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's going to get approved. I don't know how much money. I don't know anything. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah. And like those people that, like the backpackers that take their dogs with them, that'd be great to have on hand instead of having to think about an injection, because you can't carry an injection with you.
It would also be really lovely if that could transfer into human medicine.
Yeah, that too.
And people that are going hiking all the time can just keep one of those in their backpack for themselves. That's a nice thought.
That'll be interesting.
I knew somebody who stepped on a baby rattlesnake getting out of their car once.
Have we talked to them recently?
They're alive.
Good.
They were in the hospital for a while.
Ugh. I do not like snakes. They freak me out.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's just general safety information for both you and your pets if you get bit by a snake. Are you ready? Lots of old wives' tales that I'm about to disprove.
Wait, hold on. I have a question real quick. When are snakes most likely to be out in a boot and doing their thing?
In the 70s or higher.
70s or higher. Okay, cool. Go.
Other than that, they can't regulate their own body temperature, so it's too cold.
Okay.
So, and when it's in the 70s, they like to be in sunny places, like sitting in the middle of your driveway, because your driveway is going to absorb more heat.
Okay.
Okay. If you get bit by a snake, let's say we're out and abouting. You got bit, not me.
Dang it. I would be unaware.
Okay, so Ashley just got bit. What do? Do I go over there and I suck the venom out of her leg?
Please don't put your mouth on my body.
Some people, literally think that you're supposed to, swoosh and gargle some sort of oil, like olive oil, and then spit it out, and then suck the venom out of your 2 little puncture holes and spit it out, and that will buy you time. That's not a thing. Don't do that.
It's not the olive oil.
The olive oil did not do anything.
Okay.
If you want to gargle olive oil, that is your own prerogative. But it is not going to help us in this circumstance.
It's supposedly good for your heart, but...
No. What you want to do, the venom's already in there. You're not going to suck it out. I don't want to suck your foot. I'm not going to gurgle olive oil. What I will make you do is I will make you stop walking. I will make you sit down. I will make you elevate that leg.
Okay.
I will If I have a tourniquet, you can put a tourniquet on it to stop some blood flow. That's perfectly fine. Ice slows down. It doesn't stop. It slows down blood flow. That's perfectly fine. And I will carry you.
I'm sorry.
I will carry you to the nearest vehicle to get you to a hospital as soon as possible.
Okay.
If you have Benadryl, sure. Not going to hurt anything. If we one day have these little super anti-bite pills, that's great too. That would be a nice world. No sucking. No running. Stop your heart rate. Don't panic. Breathe. And let somebody carry you like you're a princess.
I'm a little princess.
Yes. And then you will probably get an anti-venom shot at a hospital. So if your dog gets bit, same rule apply. Don't go sucking on your dog's snoot.
Okay.
Please. If you do, take a picture. Because everybody wants to blackmail you with it. Stop them from running around. Try to keep them calm. Get them to a vet. We will handle it.
Very nice.
Okay. And if it's during normal business hours, you don't have to go to an ER. Normal veterinarians know how to handle snake bites. I know it feels like an emergency and everybody starts panicking and they go to an ER and they spend $6,000. Not necessary.
Okay.
Go to a normal vet. We got this.
Subcu fluids or IV fluids?
Depends on how bad it is, where it is, what size snake, what size dog.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Maybe both. Who knows?
Okay.
To be determined. But no need to go to an ER.
And once you've been bit by the snake and you've gotten to a facility for care, hopefully not the ER so you can save some money, and let's say it's an outpatient kind of visit, how many days till you're like out of the woods?
That depends too. Depends on how big the wound is going to present.
Okay.
If you've got like a giant wound where a bunch of skin starts necrosing and falling off, then it's obviously going to be a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
If you've got a smaller wound that just swells up a little bit and then goes away, it could be a couple days and then you're good to go.
Okay.
It's just kind of...
Best case scenario, it's out of the system in a couple days.
Yeah. But we've got this. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
And if you come to me for your snake bite and you want to pay me $6,000, I won't tell you no.
Will you suck on my foot?
No.
Dang it.
But it's really not
I
necessary.
almost had her, guys.
This is one of those situations where, like, all of you people that I'm saving you money, you're welcome, because this is not necessarily an ER visit. If it's after hours, then yes, you're going to an ER. Do not wait. Well, if it's swelling and it looks bad, don't wait for your normal vet.
Yeah.
If it's not swelling and it doesn't look that bad and it wasn't a coral snake, if it's a coral snake, go immediately. Then you might be able to wait until the morning. But if it starts swelling and it starts oozing and it looks gross and the dog's painful, take them that night.
Yeah.
If it's during normal business hours, we got you.
So is it ever safe, like the cute little quote unquote cute on my end,
They're cute.
like garden snakes? And if you see a little bit of swelling, just Benadryl, ice at home.
Garden snakes aren't venomous.
Yeah, but it could still swell up, right?
Have you ever been bit by a garden snake?
I've jumped 2 feet off of my bike from a garden snake crossing my path.
Has anybody in the world ever been bit by a garden snake?
I have no idea.
I think you can be torturing them and they still would be like, help!
That's sad.
I know. Do you want to know a fun fact about garden snakes?
Okay.
So most snakes are oviparous.
Ah, yes. I knew that.
Meaning that they lay eggs and the eggs hatch and the snakes slither out of the eggs, the baby snakes.
Yeah.
Garden snakes, so you and I are viviparous, meaning we don't lay eggs. At least I think. My children, personally, have not been in eggs.
Yeah, I haven't had kids yet, so who knows?
To be determined. But we raise the children in our belly and then they're born alive.
Mm-hmm.
Not in eggs.
Yeah.
Garden snakes are ovoviviparous.
What does that mean?
They lay eggs, but they don't lay eggs externally. They carry the eggs inside of them, and then the baby snakes hatch inside of them and then slither out of them.
So it's like a kangaroo snake, almost?
Kind of.
I mean, I know those guys come out not in eggs either, but they store them in their happy pocket. Got it. I'm going to write a book.
Isn't that weird? Like, so if you ever find a really, really fat garter snake, it's pregnant, and the baby snakes will start slithering out of its hoo-ha soon.
Ugh.
Oh, so cute.
No.
Yeah. And then they expel the egg pieces afterwards, which is also just strange.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
No.
There's not a lot of species on this planet that are ovoviviparous. Garter snakes are...
I was gonna say, I'm assuming that's in North America. There's
a couple, but that's the most common one up here.
Yeah.
But there's really just, in general, there's not a lot of... Most species are oviparous or viviparous.
Interesting. Ovoviviparous.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Thank you. I'm getting more brain cells.
You're almost an adult.
I'm almost this close.
I have a snake, for those of you who don't know, but she's really a glorified worm. And I have taken many people in her lifetime that were afraid of snakes and forced them to love her, and now they're fine with snakes. Like Geraldine, our manager.
Oh, yeah.
She hated snakes, but I brought her Sevi, and now she's fine with them because Sevi's glorified worm.
I've seen Sevi at your house. I like looking at her. She's an albino.
She's an albino Morse California king.
There you go. Those words. She's adorable, and I like looking at her behind her glass.
She's pink.
White.
She's pink.
What?
She's pink, and she doesn't have fangs. See? Glorified worm.
She's white with a pink undertone from the blood circulating through her body, but she's white.
She has no fangs, and she's a constrictor. And fun fact, California kings are endemic to North America. They're from here, and they are immune to other snakes' venom.
Oh, that's interesting.
California kings in the wild eat rattlesnakes. That's one of their main prey sources.
Ooh.
Rattlesnake bites them thinking, I'm gonna get you, and then the California king's like, nah, bitch, I'm immune, and wraps them up and constricts them till they die and then eats them.
Got him. Have you ever gone to one of those? I never went to it whenever I lived out in Lubbock, but they had a Sweetwater rattlesnake roundup. Have you ever been to one of those festivals?
That sounds so redneck.
It's very redneck. I was very disappointed I never made the trip to go visit it. It's about an hour and a half from Lubbock, but they dig this giant, I looked at pictures, they dig a giant pit, and then they have a competition as well, and they cook it, and so you get to try it all this, but they dig this giant pit, and they just see how many rattlesnakes they can dump into it to collect, and it's a lot. It's definitely more than 50.
Are they still alive?
I don't know. No, I think they it's like the way the ranchers kind of clear out for their population.
And that's why the timber rattler is endangered now. Thank you, Lubbock.
It wasn't Lubbock, it's Sweetwater.
Oh, God.
Lubbock doesn't do that.
Leave them alone. Timber rattlers are really pretty. There was a dead one in the road the other day. I saw it.
While you were driving?
Mm-hmm.
How can you identify? I can identify if it's like a skunk versus a squirrel as I'm driving by, but how can you be like, oh, well, I guess I have to wear glasses a lot too.
You could barely tell the difference between a skunk and a squirrel.
No, I can tell the difference between a skunk and a squirrel. I can't tell the difference between different types of snakes in the road as I drive.
How blind are you?
Sometimes a lot, okay?
God. Oh. Right when I start gaining hope for you, it just goes away.
Oh,
I'm not even going to answer that question.
So, do we wrap it up here with your disappointment in me?
Yes. Also, there's a reptile expo that travels around in Texas. It's really great. So if you ever see that, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'll see if I can look up when that normally happens each year, and I can post some dates and stuff.
Yes. So, usually it's in March, I think.
March-ish?
In Houston. At Energy.
Gotcha. All right, man. Well, that's all from me. Molly?
Make good incisions.
Thank you for joining us on Tales from the Clinic. Again, we are your hosts, Dr. Molly and regular Ashley. For more insider scoops into the vet med life and pet ownership, hit that subscribe button for updates on new episodes, and of course, share our channel to spread the word. Check the podcast notes below to see how you can get in contact with us. You can find all of Dr. Molly's affordable pet healthcare clinics on social media as well. Thanks again, and talk soon.